Let me ask you something. If I gave you Elon Musk's bank account, his resources, his connections, his intelligence, would you do what he does? Most people say yes. I'm going to tell you something that might disturb you. The answer is no. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. Stay with me. This changes everything. You see, most people look at Elon Musk and they see the rockets, they see the electric cars, they see the billions. But they miss the fundamental thing. They miss the way he sees the world. There's a beautiful story that Peter Thiel tells in his book 0 to 1. He says most people try to copy what already exists. They try to go from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. But the real innovators, they go from 0 to 1. They create something that never existed. Elon Musk doesn't play the same game as everyone else. He's not even playing the same sport. He's invented an entirely new game. And this is where most people fail. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack resources, but because they lack the courage to see differently. What is the first thing Elon Musk does that you don't? He uses something called first principles thinking. Now, this is not something he invented. Aristotle talked about this too 300 years ago. Ravikant speaks about this today. Ray Dalio built his entire empire on this principle. But what does it actually mean? Let me tell you a story. When Elon wanted to build rockets, everyone said Elon, rockets are expensive. They cost $65 million each. But Elon didn't accept this answer. He asked a different question. He said, what is a rocket made of? Aerospace grade aluminum alloys, titanium copper, carbon fiber. Then he asked, what do these materials cost on the commodity market? The answer shocked everyone. 2% of the rocket's price. The materials cost 2%. The rest was markup, bureaucracy, and tradition. So what did he do? He started SpaceX, built the rockets himself, and reduced the cost by 10 times. You see, most people accept reality as it is. Elon Musk recreates reality as it should be. This is what René Descartes called methodical doubt in his book Discourse on Method. Question everything. Break it down to the fundamental truths. Rebuild from there. Here's the question for you. What have you accepted as impossible that is actually just expensive? What have you accepted as reality that is actually just tradition? Think about it. The second thing Elon Musk does that you don't is that he learns differently. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone learns. I learn too. No, not like this. Elon Musk reads for 10 hours a day, not reads for entertainment, reads to cause you in knowledge. When he decided to build rockets, he didn't have an aerospace degree. So what did he do? He read every book on rocket science he could find, fundamentals of astrodynamics, rocket propulsion elements, structures theory and analysis. He interviewed everyone who knew anything about rockets. He absorbed. He questioned. He applied. Within months, he knew more than people with 20 years of experience. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, calls this mental models. In his book Poor Charlie's Almanac, he says, you must have a lattice work of mental models in your head, and you must use them all. Elon has built a mental library that spans physics, engineering, business, psychology, economics, history. He connects dots that others cannot see. But here's what's interesting. Most people today have access to more information than Elon Musk. More books, more courses, more videos. But they do nothing with it. They scroll, they watch, they forget. Musk doesn't consume content. He devours knowledge. And then he peopleize it. Malcolm Gladwell spoke about the 10,000-hour rule in his book Outliers. But it's not just about hours. About deliberate practice. Obsessive Learning, relentless application. So ask yourself, are you learning or are you just passing time? Are you building? Are you just watching others build? The difference is not small. The difference is EVRITHNG. Now we come to the third thing. And this is where most people completely fall apart. Elon Musk takes extreme ownership. You know what this means? When Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy in 2008, when everyone told him to quit, when he had to choose between Tesla and SpaceX, he didn't blame the economy, he didn't blame his employees, he didn't blame circumstances. He sold his personal assets. He slept on the factory floor. He worked 100-hour weeks. He put every last dollar he had into the companies. Jocko Willink wrote an entire book about this called Extreme Ownership. He says, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. When something goes wrong, the first question is not who is responsible. The first question is how am I responsible? Most people today play the victim. They blame the government. They blame their parents. They blame their education. They blame the economy. They blame their luck. And you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe all these things are against you. Elon Musk had 3 failed companies before PayPal. He was bullied as a child in South Africa. He lost his first son to SIDS. He's been through 3 divorces. He's been mocked by the media. He's been shorted by Wall Street. Every single odd was against him. And yet, he kept going. Because he understood something profound. You can blame the world, or you can change the world. You cannot do both. Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So I ask you again, are you taking ownership of your life? Are you giving your power away to circumstances? The fourth thing Elon Musk does differently is that he thinks in decades, not days. When everyone else is thinking about quarterly profits, he is thinking about making humanity multi-planetary. When everyone else is optimizing for the next year, Elon is building for the next century. This is what Jeff Bezos calls long-term thinking. In the book The Everything Store by Brad Stone, Bezos says, if everything you do needs to work on a 3-year time horizon, then you're competing against a lot of people. If you're willing to invest on a 7-year time horizon, you're now competing against a fraction of those people. Elon Musk is playing a game with a 50-year timeline, maybe even a 100-year timeline. Most people can't even commit to a 90-day goal. They start a business, they quit after 6 months. They start working out, they quit after 3 weeks. They start learning a skill. They quit after the first difficulty. Why? Because they expect immediate results. They want overnight success. They want the reward without the struggle. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Elon Musk has built systems. Systems that compound. Systems that scale, systems that last. He's not chasing money. Money is just a tool. He's chasing a vision. A vision where humanity is sustainable. A vision where we are not confined to one planet. A vision where technology serves consciousness. And this is what separates the great from the good. Good people have goals. Great people have visions. Good people plan for a year. Great people plant trees whose shade they'll never sit under. So what is your vision? Not what you want next month. Not what you want next year. What do you want to build that outlasts you? What do you want to create that serves humanity? What legacy are you creating? If you're only thinking about yourself, you'll only build something as small as yourself. And now the final principle, perhaps the most important one. Elon Musk embraces failure. No, let me correct that. He doesn't just embrace it, he expedites it, he plans for it, he learns from it. SpaceX's first 3 rockets failed, completely. Exploded, millions of dollars gone. What would you do in that situation? Most people would quit. Most people would say, I tried. Most people would go back to safety. But Elon, he took the data from the failures, analyzed what went wrong, he fixed it, and he launched again, the 4th rocket, success, and that success changed space exploration forever. Thomas Edison, when asked about his 10,000 failed experiments for the light bulb, said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He could have emerged bitter. He could have sought revenge. Instead, he emerged with grace and changed a nation. In the book The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday writes, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is ancient Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. They understood that obstacles are not blocking your path. Obstacles are the path. Every failure is data. Every setback is redirection. Every no is one step closer to yes. Only if you keep going, only if you see failure not as the end, but as the beginning of wisdom. So the question is not will you fail? The question is, when you fail, will you learn? Will you adapt? Will you rest? Because everyone fails, but only few truly rise. So let me bring this all together. What does Elon Musk do that you don't? Number 1, he thinks from first principles. He questions everything. He doesn't accept reality as given. Number 2, he learns obsessively, not for entertainment, for transformation. Number 3, takes extreme ownership, no excuses, no blame, only responsibility. Number 4, he thinks long term, decades, not days, legacy, not luxury, And number 5, he embraces failure. He uses it, he learns from it, he grows through it. Now, here's what I want you to understand. You don't need to be Elon Musk. You don't need to build rockets. You don't need to be a billionaire. But you do need to apply these principles. Because these principles are not about building companies. They're about building CHRSTR. They're not about making money. They're about making Mayananj. In the ancient text, the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, you have a right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Do the work. Not because you're guaranteed success, because it is your dirty why to become the highest version of yourself, because the world needs you. Not the small, scared, comfortable version of you. The world needs the Abadiwakan you, the Karalagios you, the Ralelas you. So I leave you with one final question. A year from now, will you look back and say, I wish I had started? Or will you look back and say, I'm glad I did? The time is now. The journey begins today. This is RoxRise, where rocks become mountains, where potential becomes power, where IOU become UNSTOPABLE. Now, rest.